This is IED 132, the Trammel toy base. The bottom of the Trammel toy base. We just did the top, which you see on your screen right now. And now we're going to create that base to this object. And that base is down here. When we look at it, it has these 4 hexagon holes and one blind hole here. And these hexagons will hold the head of the nuts. For a bolt, we'll go into those. And this one will hold a screw bolt, a flathead screw, or, I'm sorry, a panhead screw or bolt will go through here, and that will hold that head inside of there. So thickness of this is 0.24. So I'm going to start off by just making the box that creates this base bottom. So I'm going to do that on the bottom of this view. So I'm going to click to the bottom side here so I can do this. I'm going to go to create box on the bottom surface of this. Start here in that origin and come over here to the other corner. It should snap to the corner, the endpoints. Click on that, and it is 0.24 inches, just like the other one. So now I've got my top portion of my base plate and my bottom portion of my base plate. However, my bottom portion does not have any holes in it yet, so we're going to do that next. I'm going to go ahead and start a new sketch here on the bottom surface. Now, what you can't see is we can't see the original sketch. So I'm going to go back in here and turn on sketch number 4, sketch number 2, and sketch number 1 so I can see all of them. And now I see all of those in here, so that's going to help me out. And I'm going to rotate this around because I want that notch piece to be up in the upper left corner. And if I do that, then that will line up with this hole right here. That's that independent hole that's sitting out there will line up where the notch is, because the notch is right here, and that hole, it's going to be a blind hole, is right there. So in order to do this, I'm going to take and put a 0.375 inch hole circle around that original hole right there. So I'm going to go back to my view, get my center diameter circle, and I'm going to go to this first hole. I'm going to zoom in here, and I want to click on that, and it should snap in there for me. It did not. So what I might need to do to start with is I'm going to go ahead and go to create and go down to project, and I'm going to project some of that geometry. I want to project that center point of that hole there. Notice how it now has turned gray, and the center points of these 2 holes over here, the 2 diagonals, top left, bottom right. And the same thing with the bottom ones here, the top left, bottom one on this bottom left side. So I want those 5 to show up. I'll click OK to that. I've projected the ones that I need. Now I'm going to go back and get my circle. I'm going to click on that now and drag out. Now it's locked where it should be on that center point, and it's 0.375 inches. There's that one. So it's in place. I'm going to go ahead and create my 4 polygons. I'll click on my circumscribe polygon. It doesn't matter if I do circumscribed or inscribed. Either one will work fine. I'm going to start here, click on this one, drag out. It doesn't matter how big. I'll do the same thing on this one. Kind of want to keep these sides kind of straight up and as close to vertical, but not perfectly vertical if I can. But get them fairly close to vertical on the edges like that. I'm going to go ahead, now that I've got those 4 in place, I know those aren't the right sizes, but I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and horizontally and vertically constrain them. So I'm going to click on my horizontal vertical constraint, and I want to send them up so that they're vertical on the left edge, or the right edge, or the left edge, either one, doesn't matter. And hopefully this is good enough to get them there. Yep, they all went vertical for me, perfect. And now I'm going to dimension these. And if I go back in here and look at my dimensions, it says that the flats are 0.422 inches apart from one side to the other. So I'll go back, and I'm now going to take my sketch dimension tool. I'm going to click on the left side, then the right side, drag it up here. It's 0.422. Hit enter to that. Now I can keep doing this. I can keep going in and dimensioning each one like this, and keep doing these dimensions. Well, that didn't work. Click on that. And make these all 0.422 this way. Or, messed that one up. So I'm going to undo that. Not sure. I clicked on something wrong there. So let's hit that again. 0.422 from the right side and the left side to each other. I went up and hit one of these circles is why that happened. 0.422. There we go. Or I can use my equal sign, my equals constraint. I can click on the equals. I can click on this one and click on that one, and it will make them equal to each other if I do that. Same thing as if I went around and did those dimensions that way. So either way is fine. Doesn't matter. If you're more comfortable with the sketch dimension tool, you can do that. It's perfectly fine. You just have to go around and change all of them individually. If you decided you needed a larger nut instead of the one that you're currently using, you would have to manually go through and change all those dimensions. So I've got my, press escape a couple times, I've got my circle and my 4 hexagons on here. I'm going to go ahead and finish my sketch. I like to go to my home view. You know, I don't want to go to my home view when I do this. I'm going to click on the corner here so I can get that to where I can see it. And I'm going to extrude these 5 items. And the extrusion is going to go in, but instead of going the whole way through this time, we're only going to go in negative 0.24, which is half the distance. The distance or the thickness of each of those was 0.24. I have now finished that sketch. I'm going to turn my sketches off by clicking the eyeball over here on by sketches so I don't see those anymore. And now when I look around and pan around, I can see these are blind holes that go only halfway through, and they would hold the nut head of a bolt and the pan head of a bolt over here on the circular one, or the nut of a bolt and the pan head of the bolt over here. So with that, we have completed our base plate. It's completely done. We're going to save that, and we'll be ready to move on to the next portion of our Trammel toy.